Shalom mishpochah, welcome family to another episode of A Small Sanctuary with Rabbi Esther. Come spend a cozy day with me. We are actually starting a few days before by making these resin crafts. Now a disclaimer, I am not an expert in resin crafts. I try to be as careful as I can because there is some toxicity involved. Wear gloves, use an excellent mask, and by all means consult resin art professionals on how to do this safely. So that's my disclaimer, but I've made these little guys and they are looking so pretty. Now I'm going to demold the pieces, which is so satisfying. I love watching those demolding videos in Instagram, which are so much more amazing than mine. But I still had fun. And these are going to be little jewelry holders for loved ones. So you can put your earrings and rings and bracelets and necklaces on them. One of them is for my middle child who loves sparkly pink. So now that is done, after it has been sufficiently cured, I'm going to incorporate the stars, these little beauties, into my Hanukkah wreath this year. Love this I Love You latke mold that I purchased on Etsy, and here are my little stars of David. Which one do you like best? Let me know in the comments down below. Here is the total haul. Every year I dream of a white Hanukkah, depending on when Hanukkah hits in the year, whether it's early or not. But we got a little foreshadowing with some snowfall. Time for the kids to play outside while I explore this beautiful vintage cookbook that I got and make some fresh bagels. Jewish Cooking in America by Joan Nathan. I was given this wonderful classic cookbook yesterday by a congregant. Apparently it's an American classic by Joan Nathan, and I am going to be making a bagel recipe. I've made bagels before many years ago, but it's literally been years, so I'm excited to try that. These are some of my ingredients I've gathered. Molasses to add to the water as you cook them, and of course everything bagel seasoning for on top. So let's get started. Meanwhile, look at the beautiful cover of this book. It has all of the categories in Hebrew, like lechem and marak and dak and basar and of and yirakot, bread and soup and fish and meat and fowl and greens, veggies. Because it's a beautiful book that's also kind of like an ethnography because it tells stories about each of the food items. Some are Ashkenazi, some are Sephardi or Mizrahi, some are influenced by American culture, and it's just a great book. I should probably do a series on Jewish cookbooks at some time. It's a great companion to Claudia Roden's classic cookbook, which I also really love. Here, old-fashioned water bagels. Making bagels is a great Sunday morning activity. Start early to allow for 1 hour rising time. Eat them right away. Well, it happens to be a Sunday morning. It's not so early. Not so early, but I am not a morning person, so we'll just go with it. And then here comes the important part. You boil them when the water is very hot, and that is how you make bagels. Let's put together a beautiful bagel brunch, starting with our dough, which is looking good. It has a nice elasticity, and I am kicking out my kids to go play in the snow. They are excited for hot bagels fresh from the oven when they get back. Look at them go here. These memories will always be precious to me. Let's start following some instructions. Given that these are water bagels without any eggs or any enrichment of the dough, I was actually surprised how beautiful and fluffy and crunchy they were. Just a perfect consistency. It's very simple. I'm rounding them into balls here, letting them rest for 5 minutes, shaping them into bagels, and then boiling them on each side for 30 seconds. Next time, I will just poke a hole into the dough with my fingers like you would with donuts rather than roll them out into ropes because they did have a risk of splitting. Everything but the bagel seasoning, let them drip dry for a little bit and then put them in the oven. Maybe my oven is off, maybe it's a vintage cookbook, but I thought the baking time and temperature was too long and too high. So I ended up reducing the baking time by about 10 minutes and they came out great. So if you do make this recipe, just be aware of that. Time to fry up some egg. Here they are, my bagel babies. Delicious, chewy, crisp, fluffy, everything you need on a Sunday morning, and surprisingly easy to make. Setting the table with my Spode blue Italian. I love those pops of golden hues against the white and blue, and also a little bit of Hanukkah anticipation. Some lit candles and some quality family time on this quiet Thanksgiving weekend. Of course, I complete it with a cup of strong breakfast tea. My Jewish children were sorely disappointed that we had no lox left in the freezer, but these pair great with eggs and cheese as well. Try making bagels at home. Much easier and much less intimidating than you might think, and a true delight for the senses. After brunch, we cleared the table and I prepped my work surface for some wreath making. But first, this. This was a wonderful gift given by non-Jewish friends of mine who I love so much. They were so thoughtful in making these beautiful recyclable Hanukkah gift bags from beautiful cotton. So every year I spend a small fortune and a great number of hours gift wrapping gifts. And I do actually enjoy that. But I ain't gonna lie, it's a time commitment. And as well, not the best thing for the environment. So this is very much welcome. Alright, let's gather our supplies. Our resin art, our ribbons, our wreath base, and of course, our hot glue gun. I'd say that I am a medium level crafter, but this project is very simple. All you need to do is wrap the broad checkered ribbon around the wreath base, secure it with your hot glue gun, and then we're going to glue on these different elements, the dreidels, the resin art, and make some bows as well. Now the bow making really is a hack. Take about 7 inches, about 15 centimeters of ribbon and fold it in on itself in the center. Glue that part down and then cut another strip, as you can see here, for the middle part. You basically wrap that strip around the middle part of the ribbon, pinching it a little bit in the center for that ribbon look, and glue that down too. The other type of ribbon that you can see here, the golden ribbon, I basically started making a ribbon knot, but instead of tying it into a knot, I glued it down as well for those beautiful arched bows that you see here. And that's it, and we're done. I'm switching out my fall wreath for my Hanukkah wreath. Let the season begin. My wreath hangs next to my mezuzah on my front door, proud and for all to see. And depending on your comfort level, this really is the year to lean into those Jewish values and proclaim them publicly. Lean into what gives you Jewish joy. Lean into what validates what it means to you to be a Jew and the light you bear out into the world. Wishing all of my viewers and followers Chag Urim Sameach. A very happy Hanukkah. A little bit more Hanukkah content will be coming, but for now, Shalom Uvracha, with peace and blessings from my bite to your bite.